So before we get started, just wanted to go through a few things. First, if you'd like to ask a question, please find the Go To Webinar control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. Please ask any questions, and we will most certainly do our best to get to these questions during and after the webinar today. Next, I would like to thank Dwight Stuckey, our president here at Stuckey & Company, along with Maggie Hammett, our lead technology underwriter, for presenting today. Thank you both for your time and making yourself available. So about Stuckey & Company, we are an MGA and we provide our independent insurance agents and brokers with innovative insurance programs along with excellent service that they need to ensure for long-term growth and success. As of today, Stuckey & Company has 9 specialty insurance programs that we offer to our agents. And this year we have completed 27 successful years in the business while serving over 9,000 licensed independent insurance agencies and 200,000 customers. At Stuckey & Company, we do everything from creating niche specialty insurance programs for our agents and manage all areas of the insurance cycle under your account, including underwriting, the rating and rule generation, quoting, the binding process. We also issue policies, policy services such as process endorsements and change requests. We handle the renewal issuance, invoicing and billing, reporting. We do some systems integration, claims handling, marketing, and training, such as this webinar today. Here is a list of 8 of our specialty insurance programs that we offer to our agents. First, we have SafetyTek, our technology E&O insurance program, which we'll go into further detail here shortly. Aspire A&E for architects and engineers. ArborGuard, which is Stuckey's first program, started 27 years ago, which handles marinas and boat dealers. We have our miscellaneous professional liability program, which consists of over 350 eligible classes in MPL. We have Element for the green energy industry. Of course, we have our personal lines, which includes homeowners, personal auto, watercraft, high value home, and more. And then we have our commercial lines markets, which include BOP, work comp, commercial auto, bonds, just to name a few. And last, we have our surplus lines carriers for non-standard lines, if any risk falls outside of our underwriting guidelines. All right, so now I'd like to pass the presentation over to Dwight Stuckey, our president, and he would like to go into further detail of insuring cloud services.
Well, yes, thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. And thanks everybody for coming and attending the webinar on insuring cloud services. This is our 5th tech topic in a series of 13 of them, and that list is growing. Have a lot of interaction between agents like yourselves and us asking for additional topics. The first 4 were AI, or artificial intelligence and machine learning. We did a user interface and user experience. We went on and did insuring games, not gaming like casinos, but insuring computer games. And then we did, last webinar was a tech-focused marketing and advertising webinar, which was, I think, really well received. This is insuring cloud services. A lot of carriers are afraid of cloud services and find them as ineligible. We feel we understand it, and we ask the questions that it takes to get our hands around the opportunity. So they say the cloud computing market is projected to reach $411 billion by 2020. Every time we start one of these sessions, we start with a market size, and it continues to amaze me. Cloud computing is quickly becoming the standard way for technology companies to access IT infrastructure, software, and hardware resources. The technology enables companies to be able to use applications and other resources managed by third-party companies that are stored in high-end server computers and networks. Cloud computing systems are mainly set up for businesses or research purposes. But we get to, like, AWS, Amazon Web Services, you can tap into their servers, and it's literally the same server farm as they use with their systems. So it's immediately scalable and very cost effective. In fact, the 5 essential characteristics of cloud services are that it's on demand, ubiquitous network access, the location does not matter, right? Location transparency and resource pooling, rapid elasticity, which means it's easily scalable, and the service is normally measured on a pay per use, which it makes it accessible by just the small business. So these are a list of some of the cloud services. IaaS is infrastructure as a service, and we'll go over each one of these. PaaS is platform as a service. SaaS is software as a service. RaaS is recovery as a service, and the DaaS is the database. Of course, everybody knows, not anybody, I guess everybody knows storage and some of the examples, Dropbox and whatnot that we see out there. The databases that are online, some people that handle processes, application security, and other aspects that are deployed on the web. So infrastructure as a service, some examples of those are Rackspace. That's a fairly common name, but it's they handle email. They also deploy Office 365 online. And Amazon Web Service is another one that's extremely popular. Infrastructure as a service refers to online services to provide high-level APIs used to differentiate various low-level details of underlying network infrastructure, like physical computing resources, location, data partitioning, scaling, security, and backup. Platform as a service. Their applications based on a category of cloud computing and services that perform that kind of come together and provides a platform allowing customers to develop, run, and manage applications without the complexity of building and maintaining the infrastructure themselves. Some people perform some of those as a public cloud service, a private service behind a firewall, or as a software deployed on a public infrastructure. So Force.com and Azure are two that are common here. You can literally go and have a Mac OS or Windows machine running in the cloud. And that's what a lot of people would do with disaster recovery, DRP, disaster recovery planning. Software as a service is a software licensing and delivery model in which software is licensed on a subscription basis and is centrally located. It is sometimes referred to as on-demand software and was formerly referred to as software plus services. These are fairly common. The items listed there: Google Docs, FreshBooks, Salesforce. Google Docs, you get access to all of their software, the Word document, the Word type software, the Excel spreadsheet type software, and and the database and whatnot, all free and online. Salesforce, FreshBooks is an accounting platform that's online, and you've heard of NetSuite and Gmail. Storage, cloud storage is a service model in which data is maintained, managed, backed up, and made available to users over a network. And these are very common software storage or data storage services. Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, iCloud. Sometimes they're given away for free up to a certain point, and then you pay, past that point. Security, cloud security is the protection of data, applications, and infrastructures involved in cloud computing. Many aspects of security for cloud environments, whether it's public, private, or a hybrid, are the same as for any on-premise IT architecture. It's extremely important, and it's one of those challenges that we have to overcome. We've heard of some of the effects that the lack of security has on a company. The databases, database as a service. Of course, Azure with the SQL database, FileMaker using AWS, Oracle databases. Cloud-based databases enable users to store, manage, and retrieve their structured or unstructured and semi-structured data via the cloud platform. Accessible over the internet, cloud databases are also known as databases as a service, obviously. So it allows you to not just deploy the service on your local environment, but use the resources that somebody like Amazon has to offer. The next couple, testing as a service and the on-demand economy are kind of considered part of the cloud, but not necessarily, the cloud computing services, but they're more functional, based off of function and performance and scalability and security. So testing as a service is an outsourcing model in which testing activities associated with some of the organization's business activities are performed as a service online. And the on-demand economy, I'm sure some of these names look extremely familiar. Airbnb, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. I know I just used my first DoorDash out here in Lake St. Louis, Missouri, just the other day. But it's an on-demand economy. Upwork is a crowdsourced type service, and basically they refer to on-demand service, self-service refers to the service provided by cloud computing vendors that enables the provision of cloud resources on demand whenever they are required. So in the on-demand self-service, the user accesses cloud services through an online control panel. So that's why we kind of put it in the cloud services category. I guess the top 5 service industries that derive the on-demand economy has been transportation, that you see in Uber and Lyft, food delivery, such as the DoorDash, some professional services, healthcare, and e-commerce. Some of the cloud challenges are security, although security, that challenge has been around for a long time, and it seems to be diminishing over time as things get more secure. Managing cloud spending. Sometimes you'll spin up a Amazon web server and do some testing, and you may forget that you spun up the Amazon web service, and you will not go back and delete it. That can be costly. Sometimes there's a lack of resources or expertise. It's kind of, I think, in my opinion, is just behind security and cost management. But it's definitely a challenge. And there are a lot more people coming into the industry with knowledge on the cloud services. Governance, in this case, one of the greatest benefits of cloud computing, the speed and ease of developing new computing resources can become a potential downfall. Many organizations lack the visibility into the shadow IT used by their employees, and governance becomes particularly challenging. Compliance. You've heard of the EU General Data Protection Regulation, the GDPR, after the Zuckerberg stuff, and I guess that's actually a European Union thing. But some of those laws are making deploying cloud services more challenging. And then just the immature technology. Many cloud computing services are on the cutting edge, like artificial intelligence and machine learning and augmented reality. The potential downfall to access to the new and technology doesn't always live up to the enterprise expectations in terms of performance, usability, and reliability. And then I guess lastly, integration. Many organizations, particularly those with hybrid cloud environments, report challenges related to getting their public cloud and on-premises tools and applications to work together. So that was one of the top challenges as well. The broad class eligibility, nearly every industry, and I would probably go say every industry, has access to the cloud. And so I put up basically all of the industries that have an SIC code here, and kind of intentionally started with airports, which might be a very ineligible class of business, but sometimes we can work on the cloud solutions or the software or technology deployment for the airports. Anyway, each industry has its risks, and we basically have a product to look at each one of those industries and the technology deployed to those industries. So next, I'd like to introduce Maggie Hammett, our lead technology underwriter, to kind of go through how we insure the cloud services. Maggie?
Perfect. Thank you, Dwight. This is a great opportunity for not just someone offering cloud services, but if you have clients that are just offering technology in general, our form picks up a lot of technology services. And you can join any of our technology webinars that will help you identify a technology client and give you an idea of what type of coverages we offer. So I'm going to just go over it real briefly here. Of course, the SafetyTek coverage includes the professional liability, which is the negligent acts, errors, or omission when rendering technology services. And then we have a three-part multiple and insuring agreement, which would pick up electronic media liability, and that includes electronic content, dissemination over the internet, whether it's transmitted over the internet or produced on the internet, and this will also include the copyright, trademark, trade name, title, and slogan. We also have network operations security, which is unauthorized access and use of an insured computer system. And then recently, over the last year, we've also added the cyber liability, which is the data breach expense or notification expense to notify your customers of a breach and obtain legal help, public relations, or to restore the company's reputation. Dwight also mentioned something that seems to be, I get some questions on the GDPR. Our form has a specific definition, which does include any state, federal, or foreign regulations. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at some of the other policies to make sure that they're picking up some of the other foreign regulations that are required on some of our local clients, technology clients. So, okay. We also wanted to make sure, you know, we're covering worldwide coverage. In the electronic media liability section, we do pick up the advertising and advertising services, unauthorized use and unauthorized access. And then, of course, we have a broad definition of insured, which will include independent or subcontractors as well as subsidiaries for the insured. And then we have a particular SafetyTek bundle. We threw on about 7 additional coverages that we think definitely helps the technology guys with first dollar defense. Innocent insured, contractual liability, defense outside the limits, which I get a lot comparing to other coverages. We seem to be one of the few that are offering defense outside the limits, so it's a bonus. Telecommunications, management, and IT staffing. And this is just some of our values. We always work with the top rated carriers, A+ and above. We have on the SafetyTek program, our minimum premium can be as low as $500 for $1 million in coverage. We also have more eligibility. We offer broader, not just broader definitions, but also broader services that we can cover. We recently received increased revenue threshold on our program. We can now go up to $50 million on our program, and we also have in-house authority up to $30 million in revenue. And then also to top that off, we did get some cyber liability limits increased, in-house authority up to $2 million. So those are some things that I'm really excited about. So I'd love to have the opportunity to talk about any technology account or risk that you have. We'd like to take a look and see what we can offer you. And then the SafetyTek services is just a very easy setup. SafetyTek can use simple and secure web services, and we can do the application. We have online rating quoting available to our agents. We have transparent underwriting, so we are upfront with our concerns and questions. We let you know limitations, and if for any reason we have to send out a declination, we make sure that we're very transparent. We let you know what our concerns are and why the carrier may be declining, kind of give you an idea and feel of what we expect and what we look at, and if it's a declination, definitely give you some real reasons behind it. And then we have great service with our 151 promise, which is if you send in a hard copy, we will handle it quickly. If it's in by 1 p.m. in the afternoon, we will have you a quote out by 5 p.m. that day. And if it comes in after 5 p.m., we will have it out to you the very next day by the afternoon or 1 p.m. So great service. Here, we're provided a couple of contact information. Myself, Maggie Hammett, and I head up the technology department for professional liability. And then I'm partnered with Michelle. She does all the non-tech accounts, and we've got some commercial lines information up there if you have any other opportunities.
Right on. Well, thank you, Maggie. We have some questions. We'll just kind of go over them. If you, on the right-hand side of your GoToWebinar screen is a control panel. You can ask a question either by chat or questions. We have a few coming in, but if you text us or email us, you can also get answers to those. We'll try to get to all the questions, but a lot of times we won't have time. But well, let's see here. my clicker is not working. It's not, oops. Okay, I think the first one, I wasn't able to expand it, but it looked like where the states, where can we offer coverages? It looked like a location question.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually write the SafetyTek form, and we are licensed in all states except for Alaska and Hawaii. And we are admitted in all but, and I'm sorry, this is off the top of my head, 3 states, Louisiana, Virginia, and I believe Massachusetts.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to apologize that for whatever reason it's not expanding the question. So also, what if they have it? I'm assuming that's kind of a revenue question. And I think you went into the revenue a little bit, but what is the upper limit for the revenue under the SafetyTek program, and what happens if it goes beyond that?
Sure, absolutely. We actually have in-house authority for limits up to $5 million, and we have worked with Chubb specifically to start offering an excess should they have a contract requiring the $10 million limits on the E&O, and it's pretty much quick service as the others. We can get that in usually within the day and give them at least an indication of what the excess might be. Usually the high limits like that, it's a contractual obligation, so they'll require a copy of the contract, but we can do up to $5 million limits in-house.
Right on. $5 million in-house and $5 million excess of the 5 quickly.
Yes.
Can we add a BOP onto it?
Actually, last week, we just received approval, and we're getting ready to launch where we can add a skinny BOP onto the E&O, so we can cover a little bit of property GL with the E&O. We hope to have that marketing out and have everything set up and ready to issue policies in the next couple of weeks. And I'm able to quote today, so if you have anything, please send it on over. I'd love to take the opportunity to offer an indication.
Right on. Couple other questions. It looks like there might be an agent that has a specialty in the product, asked for online access to it. We have online quoting on CoverCore that you can go online, put in the information, services, revenue, and identify limit and deductible. You get an online quote. But this particular one was they have a website online form, I think that I'm unable, again, sorry, I'm unable to expand the question, but we do also have an API that we can give you that allows you to post the data to our site after you get it from your online form, if you have a specialty in the tech industry, and we will spit back the data, limits, premiums, carrier, deductibles, so you can display it to your customer in real time. So if that helps. Also, in that same vein, I guess, cloud services is something very specific, and there's a lot of developers that work on cloud services. So it's a possibility, there's a possibility if you have a company that has a group of developers, we could put a program together for you that might eliminate the, maybe not eliminate the need for a minimum premium, but it would be a different minimum premium. We can go through a lot of the underwriting questions on the application as pre-underwriting question and have more of an enrollment form for you or your customers if that helps. Well, darn it. So I'm going to have to get to a couple of the last questions maybe by email. Hopefully they'll show up. But Tyler, thank you for introducing us. And Maggie, thanks for being here and explaining the coverages. I think the cloud computing is a humongous area, $400 billion with a B. And we're here to help you with them, whether it's a small developer working in the cloud or if it's one of those larger cloud services. So please give us a call. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.
And throw in Happy Thanksgiving, I guess. Right on.